Command ceremony will begin shortly. Please ensure that all electronic devices are silenced. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very Army responsibility to military life while preserving standing for the playing of our national anthem, by Chaplain Neal.
Please bow and pray with me. Gracious and almighty God, this is the day that you have made, and we rejoice and are glad in it. As we gather here to witness this time-honored event, as Major Nathan Parker relinquishes command and Lieutenant Kristin S assumes command of the 835th Cyber Operations Squadron. As Major Parker relinquishes command, he does so knowing and trusting that the 835th Cyber Operations Squadron is in good hands and will be taken care of and will take the group to the next level. Thank you for Major Parker's leadership and dedication for the past 2 years as he led this team. I pray in his next position that he continues to lead with much success, tackle challenges as they come, and continue to serve his country as he has done so this far. Lord, as Lieutenant Colonel Klinger assumes command, I pray that you grant her your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and the patience as she leads the charge for the next 2 years. Lord, remind her that every decision that she makes will truly impact mission readiness of the 835th Cyber Operations Squadron, United States Air Force, and especially the airmen she leads as they look to her for her leadership and to launch them far beyond the next level. I pray that everything she puts her hands to prosper and render huge success. I also pray a special blessing for Lieutenant Colonel Klinger and especially her husband, her son, and daughter, as they too will make sacrifices, huge sacrifices, to her command. Grant them your peace and understanding when it comes to Lieutenant Colonel Klinger being called upon at moment's notice to serve our country. Dear God, I pray this in your most holy and precious name and give you thanks. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Neal. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. To help recognize the importance of this ceremony, we are joined today by a number of special and distinguished guests. Connecting with us virtually, the Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Colonel Sean C. Kern. Also connecting virtually, the Vice Commander of 67th Cyberspace Wing, Colonel Michael J. Winter. And with us locally, representing the Commander, Headquarters Cyberspace Capability Center, Lieutenant Colonel Jennifer M. Sivit. Major Parker's wife, Mrs. Andrea Parker, their children, Reagan Sivit and Ryan Parker, his father, Mr. Robert Parker, and his friend, Mrs. Karen Needley, his sister, Mrs. Bobby Madura, and her husband, Master Sergeant Retired Tim Madura, his aunt, Mrs. Judy Delamano, and his cousin, Miss Stacy Sharnhorst. Lieutenant Colonel Kristin Klinger's husband, Mr. Brad Klinger, and their children, Nathan and Ava Klinger. Her grandfather, General Retired Joseph Ashe, and his wife, Mrs. Sue Ashe. Her father, Mr. Rick Joslett, and his wife, Mrs. Pam Joslett. Her mother, Mrs. Karen Ashe. Her mother-in-law, Mrs. Debbie Hartman, and her husband, Lieutenant Colonel Retired Frank Hartman. Her family friend, Miss Kelly Bradshaw. Her sister, Dr. Katie Cranville, and her husband, Mr. Chad Cranville, and her sister, Miss Allison Joslett. We also welcome all commanders, directors, chiefs, first sergeants, families, friends, and community partners, and the men and women of Team Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 567th Cyberspace Operations Group, Colonel Michael McDaniel.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to begin with some thank yous and some more welcomes. So first off, thank you to the team that put this together. So Lieutenant Owens, Lieutenant White, Sergeant Moore, and the team that put this whole ceremony together. These things don't just happen on their own, so we appreciate all that went into this, so thank you. Chaplain Neal, thank you for your invocation this afternoon. I would like to thank our distinguished guests in attendance. Lieutenant Colonel Sivit, thank you for representing Colonel Kirsch and the Triple C. We appreciate our partnership with your organization, so thank you for being here on his behalf. Virtually, 67th Cyberspace Wing Commander, Gunslinger 1, Colonel Kern, thank you for your support for this unit, sir, and thank you for joining us here. Colonel Winter, and then also I believe Chief Collar is with us as well, so thank you for joining us to our distinguished guests. So you probably saw there's a lot of family members in attendance, which is a testament to how much our families support our mission. And so I would like to extend a special welcome to our families that are here with us today. So I'll start with Major Parker's family. So Andrea, Reagan, and Ryan, thank you guys for being here. I know your husband and your dad appreciate it. And then we have certainly appreciated the support you have provided him for the past 2 years. So also here with us today is Nathan, or Neo. I will call him Neo today, but you call him Nathan, Major Parker's dad, and Fred Kieran. Thank you both for being here with us today. I know it has been a busy couple of years for your family, and so you being here today means a lot. I know to Nathan it means a lot to us too, so thank you very much. Also with us, as we mentioned in the acknowledgments, Bobby and Tim, thank you for joining us. Judy and Stacy, thank you as well. Also from Lieutenant Colonel Klinger's family. It's wonderful to see Brad again. Brad and I served together in another Cyberspace Operations Squadron years ago, so it's nice to reconnect with Brad, and nice to see Nathan and Ava all grown up, because it's been quite a while. Appreciate the family coming in town, so Rick and Pam, thank you for being here for Kristin. Also Sister Allison, thank you for being here. And then Katie and Chad, thank you guys for being here as well. So I found out you're Missouri fans, so this is a good connection for you. From Brad's family, Debbie and Grandpa Frank. I told your Grandpa Frank, thank you for being here with us and support. And then virtually, Kristin's mom, Miss Karen Ashe, and family friend Kelly Bradshaw are able to join us virtually. And then also Kristin's grandfather and grandmother, General Retired, and Mrs. Ashley. So thank you. Ashley, excuse me. Thank you. Wow, what a great day. So we get to recognize two distinguished leaders, Major Nathan Neo Parker and Lieutenant Colonel Kristin Klinger as they will exchange the guidon and exchange command of the 835th. But more importantly, it's a day where we can recognize the guardians of the 835th Cyberspace Operations Squadron. So I went back and, of course, asked Neo, what are the things that you're going to remember most about these 2 years that you've been here in the 835th? And not surprisingly, he said the people in this room. And you pull that thread just a little bit more, and it's more than just the people, but it's the trust and the connection that this squadron was able to have. And I couldn't agree more. And I absolutely observed it from San Antonio, or my visits here over the years. And so it was completely evident to me, and that was evident in the way that this squadron executed its mission. It was evident in the partnerships that we've had. And it was evident in the culture that exists in this unit. And so trust and connection is such a big piece of that. And Neo, thank you for highlighting that. When it comes to the mission, the 835th Cyber Operations Squadron is ready when called upon. And you guys certainly delivered when it came time. In 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine, that was a significant spike in our operations, and we had teams out the door within days of that conflict in order to secure our most critical mission systems around the Department of Defense. The partnerships that we've had here, we had a wonderful partnership for years, and I think we've only strengthened that during your time here. So much so that we had an inspection from the air staff came down, and when they left, they identified the partnership that we had between the 835th and 42nd as the strongest that they had seen. So fantastic. So thank you for doing that. And when you look at the culture of this unit, which I sincerely appreciate, you need to look no farther than the ops floors of each of the 3 teams that exist in the 835th. And so you start at 853, and you're greeted with a life-size rooster costume as you walk in the door, and rooster paraphernalia everywhere. But it's clear that that identification is meaningful to the individuals in that team, and their identification as guardians. And you move over to 854, it gets a bit darker. Death at the door, 854, grim reapers everywhere, but just as proud of that tradition. And then we end in an old Western movie, Los Caballeros, the hunters from 855. You go through the saloon doors, and you're greeted there too. Equal pride amongst teams, all fostered by pride in being a guardian and being ready when you're called upon. So Neo, your leadership here certainly was a reason for that success in mission, in partnerships, and in the culture here. Whether it was you on to get a team afternoon or Sunday morning, whether it was navigating the complex policy that sometimes exists, integrating reservists in active duty, or whether it was finding that right photo opportunity for that rooster in the photo atrium, or excuse me, in the atrium with the 16th Air Force Commander. So, Colonel Smith, please pass that back to your boss. We appreciate his support on that one. I think enough time has passed that we're all good there. But an example of the culture in this great unit, right? So, Andrea, Neo, I hope you look back on your time here and smile and know what a difference you made. We will certainly miss you, and we wish you a Cyber Operations Flight in the 90th Cyber Operations Squadron. So all the capability development, where her team built things that are really the foundation for a lot of the things that we use today. So I got the experience of working with her there. She did a tough 8-hand assignment working for the 24th Air Force Commander, learning what cyber operations look like at the strategic level. She's been a CMT lead, a combat mission team lead. She was the DO of a combat support team squadron, and so she's had experience in both of those sets. And perhaps most impressive, she just completed a joint tour on staff of the United States Strategic Command in the Joint Cyber Center. And now she comes to us to be part of the cyber protection team mission set again. And so, just to rehash, combat mission teams, combat support teams, cyber protection teams, there's not many individuals that have experience amongst all 3 of those, and that's what Kristin's going to bring to this unit. But as excited as I am about her resume, I'm even more excited about who she is as a leader and as a person. Kristin has a reputation for being collaborative, bringing people together, and delivering results. And I am very confident she's going to do that here. And so, Kristin, Brad, we welcome you to the 567 Cyber Operations Group. Welcome you to the 835th Cyber Operations Squadron. And we know that you build on that, executing the mission, the partnerships, and the culture that's here in the 835th, and continue to build on the things that Major Parker and Major did. We welcome you, and we wish you all the best. So finally, I'd like to just offer one more thank you. I know I've said many, but I'd like to offer one more thank you, and that's to the men and the women of the 835th Cyber Operations Squadron, the Guardians. Thank you for being ready when called upon. Thank you for being an outstanding partner. Thank you for having fun while doing it, having an awesome culture and an awesome place to work. And thank you for holding the line. Thanks.
Thank you, Colonel McDaniel. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal to Major Nathan Parker.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 835th Cyberspace Operations Squadron, 567th Cyberspace Operations Group, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Scott Air Force Base, Illinois. During this period, Major Parker led 261 total force members on 22 operations defending 59 Air Force bases. Additionally, he drove multiple innovation projects to improve operations and morale. Major Parker oversaw the development of an advanced training network to address one of the most prominent morale and training concerns, as well as the creation of a special mission qualification to certify operators to defend critical infrastructure across the force. Moreover, he was selected to revamp the group's exercise and analytics programs. Major Parker developed an exercise plan to align training events with operations, boosting the lethality and expertise of operators. He also led the development of the training requirements for the analytics support officer and data engineer positions for the United States Cyber Command, while integrating analytics into defensive cyberspace operations. Finally, Major Parker's leadership garnered his squadron the group's 2022 General Harold W. Grant Award nomination, an overall annual increase in awards, one above the from 19 to 30, and recognition from Headquarters Air Force as the best total force integration team seen to date. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major Parker reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 835th Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Major Nathan Parker.
So I was told I was limited on time on this, so I had to type it all out. So I apologize. It's not going to be as random as normal. I would like to thank all the leadership online, Colonel Kern, Colonel Winter, Chief Power, Colonel Sibbett, all of the leadership that has put us in the place that we are, and I appreciate them tuning in and supporting us all these years. First off, I have to thank the Guardians and Freedom Fighters for the ride of a lifetime. The ability to lead this caliber of airmen was something that I never imagined as a young A1C. I want to thank Brigadier General Blackwell, Colonel Phillips, Colonel Kern, Colonel McDaniel for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When I joined the Air Force, I was a young 3 Charlie. That's changed several times since then. 10 years into my career, my OIC, a captain at the time, but now a Major Retired Duncan, and a young, amazing Staff Sergeant, my wife, just to be clear on that one, stood behind me and challenged me to be more. As a lieutenant, I had at the time a colonel who had saw potential in me and made me her exec. She pushed me beyond my comfort zone and showed me that I could succeed outside of my bounds and fight for the people. That encouragement led me to meet and have the honor to lead the best in the business. I've sat down with almost every individual in this unit and have charged you with being innovative, risk-taking, outside-of-the-box individuals. You've not let me down. Your drive to find new tools, break things with 100% encouragement, and improve your processes, procedures, and leadership skills from the lowest levels up has pushed us all. Together, we have been inspired, challenged, driven by everyone in this unit. Each day, the Guardians and Freedom Fighters pressed the limits and executed missions like a finely tuned machine. You took challenges, made them look easy, left your families for extended periods of time to protect your nation from threats, some of which were so stealthy and silent that only the highest levels of government even knew they existed. With each challenge you faced, whether it be manning, deployments, stress, frustration, or fatigue, you laughed, opened up to each other, articulated your resolve, and strengthened your camaraderie, and executed solvent solutions to what you encountered. You solved problems before they were problems. You didn't complain, you created opportunities, supported and empowered each other, boosted each other up, and pushed each other to be better. You've been identified as Headquarters Air Force as an example of how a total force should operate, and have put your words into action, which became concrete in the eyes of many. I appreciate your ability to come and talk with me and senior leadership to point at your concerns and identify solutions. Be honest with me and allow us as a unit to change for the better. I challenge you to continue to innovate under your new commander, push each other, and continue to be the best defensive cyber ops unit in the Air Force. You've been the best I've worked with, and I could not have asked for more strong, intelligent group of individuals to serve with. Most of all, I appreciate the opportunity to share your lowest times and your highest times, to be there to support you and rejoice in the success. I wish you all the best. I will be, let me try that again, I can't read. You will be the ones that I will talk about when I'm old and sharing stories with my grandchildren. You outstanding individuals were an honor to lead, and I know you will continue that same tradition with your new leadership. I'd be remiss if I failed to acknowledge a few people in my life that have helped put me in this position to lead the best. My father, who commanded a tank in Vietnam and shared his stories of hardship, defined leadership, and how to be strong but empathetic. My wife, who is my sounding board and voice of reason. My brother-in-law, Master Sergeant retired, who inspired me to join and guided me through the process of being an airman. And he also said he had to retire to ensure he didn't have to salute me. My sister, who I reached out multiple times throughout my career for advice and support. I would also like to acknowledge past leaders that I've had who have empowered me to make mistakes and learn from them. Lieutenant Colonel Paul Sheglo, Lieutenant Colonel Brian De La Cruz, and Colonel Omar Velasco. Thank you for your friendship and leadership. I will continue to lean on you as long as you will entertain my questions. Last but not least, my mother, who can't be here today, but is one of the reasons I am here with my family, and one of the primary reasons I was afforded the opportunity to lead the Guardians for the past 2 years. I miss you, and I know you're looking down right now. You never let me slack off, you constantly challenged me, and you pushed me to be better. You showed me what strength was. Thank you. I love and miss you. I love every one of you, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people in my life pushing me to be the best I could be. I'm sure there are many I've missed. Each and every person I have come in contact with has helped shape me in one way or another. Thank you, Guardians and Freedom Fighters, for an amazing time in command, and I hope to serve with all of you again.
The ceremony you are about to witness is one of the briefest, yet most significant of our military ceremonies. All authority and responsibility are vested in the hands of their commander, a chain unbroken to the Commander-in-Chief, President Joseph Robinette Biden. No unit may ever be without a commander. So today, when Major Nathan Parker relinquishes command, all authority and responsibility for the 835th Cyberspace Operations Squadron are immediately transferred to Lieutenant Colonel Kristin S. The passing of the squadron guidon represents the culmination of a series of significant achievements under Major Nathan Parker's leadership, foresight, and guidance, and reflects great confidence in the continuation of the achievements to come under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Kristin S. Ladies and gentlemen, Please rise for the change of command ceremony.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. By direction of the President, Lieutenant Colonel Kristin S. is appointed Commander of the 835th Cyberspace Operations Squadron effective June 22nd, 2023.
Officers, base.
Sir, I relinquish command.
Sir, I assume command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated for the introduction for the very first time, the Commander, 835th Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Kristin S.
I can let us know when we're going to fly. I'm already certain now. All right, good afternoon, fellow gunslingers, interceptors, guardians, families, and friends. Colonel Kern, Colonel Winter, Chief Power, Lieutenant Colonel Sibit, thank you for being with us today. I know an event like this is a heavy lift, and we appreciate your time and effort in making this occasion such a success. A special thanks to Lieutenant Owens for leading this event, and to Chaplain Neal for his words of wisdom. It's a great day to be an airman. I can't tell you how excited the Cleaner family is to come back home to the 67th Cyberspace Wing and to join the 567 Cyberspace Operations Group. I'm honored and humbled to lead and serve in this very important mission set. I have many people to thank who have guided me on the way. Colonel Kern, sir, thank you for having the faith in me and to serve and lead in this wing. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Colonel McDaniel, sir, thank you for your trust and confidence, and I cannot wait to see what the 567 can accomplish together. To Neo, my boss at Stratcom said he knew you. He said you were one of the good ones, if not the best. Your reputation precedes you, and you quickly proved him correct. I want to thank you for your time and insight, as well as your dedication with Guardians and the incredible leadership you've provided the 835th. I wish you, Andrea, Reagan, and Ryan all the best, and I'm glad you're just a phone call or a walk away. Like a lot of us in the room, I would not be here without my family, series of mentors, and amazing colleagues. I wish I had more time to thank everyone that has supported us today, but thank you for guiding me and playing an instrumental part in the lives of Brad and I. To Nathan and Ava, who have helped me get ready for this moment. They have helped me prepare my uniforms. They have upgraded me to the title of Commander Mommy. Asking what this command opportunity really means and truly being excited to be a part of it. We have the best kiddos. To Brad, my rock and best friend. When reading about command, I asked him if he wanted to meet the spouses in the squadron, and without skipping a beat, his answer was, yes, I'm going to meet the airmen and their spouses, and then looked at me like, why did I even ask that? When I say the Cleaner family's excited, it's not an exaggeration. Brad, thank you for your constant support and making this Air Force journey so much fun and exciting. I truly married up. All right, to the Guardians, I can't wait to meet you and hear your stories. It's an honor to serve with you in our very important mission set. Our nation needs our capabilities we provide and build off the successes before us. The security of our country depends on it, and I'm continually impressed by your operational rigor, inventiveness, and discipline in accomplishing the mission. My commitment to you is my trust, respect, and dedication in order to do bad things to bad people on behalf of our great nation, while ensuring a continued focus on taking care of our total force airmen and their families. I am thrilled to call myself Guardian. Thank you. Guardians!
Hold the line!
The Cyberspace Operations Squadron welcome the Klinger family. And at this time, we would like to invite Mr. Brad Klinger to come forward and pin the commander's badge on Lieutenant Colonel Klinger's uniform. Across the United States Air Force, officers are awarded with this distinctive badge for leadership. This insignia is presented only to Air Force officers who hold the command billet.
I told him you didn't have to do it proper.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. Following the ceremony, you are cordially invited to welcome the Klinger family in the receiving area in the front of the auditorium and join the family for light refreshments. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here it comes, soon to meet our thunder. Attaboy, boys, hear the gun. Hear the gun! Down we dive, starting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, we're down in fight. Hey! Nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. Thank you, everybody. That concludes today's ceremony.